Welcome to the Mesa City Council meeting. If you would like to speak on an item or provide comment, please fill out the form online at mesaaz.gov/blue card or fill out a blue card at the back of the room. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes. You can also ask for an item to be removed from the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are read into the record and voted on in one motion. At the end of tonight's meeting, under items from citizens present, there will be an opportunity for 3 citizens to speak on any issue for a maximum of 3 minutes each. The council cannot respond to your comments. The City of Mesa operates under a council district system with the mayor elected at large. The mayor of Mesa is John Giles. There are 6 districts in Mesa, and here are your elected council members. In District 1, Mark Freeman represents Northwest Mesa. In District 2, Julie Spilsbury represents Central and South Central Mesa. In District 3, Francisco Heredia represents Southwest Mesa. In District 4, Jen Duff represents Downtown Mesa and the area south of downtown. In District 5, Alicia Goforth represents Northeast Mesa. And in District 6, Scott Summers represents Southeast Mesa. Information about your council member and the City of Mesa is available online at mesaaz.gov. All City Council meetings are broadcast live and then rebroadcast on Mesa AZ TV and at mesaaz.tv.
Welcome again to the Mesa City Council meeting for the evening of January 22nd. I'll note for the record that all of our council is present. We will begin this meeting with an invocation offered by Reverend Ann Leiter with the Velda Rose United Methodist Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Reverend Leiter is with us via Zoom. So
I am indeed.
Great, thank you. I'll invite everyone to stand for the invocation, and then following that, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. Go ahead, Pastor.
It is my privilege to offer this prayer, Mayor and council folk. Let us pray. Heavenly Creator of all, bless this meeting time and all who are part of it. Bless the members of the council, the mayor, the citizens, and all who participate. May the council find purpose and meaning and joy in their work. May they have wisdom for their decisions. May they see the people of Mesa as beloved people of sacred worth. Enable us to wisely and efficiently manage our time in this meeting today. Help us all to remember that each person is a person with concerns, needs, dreams, purpose, and value, even when we do not agree. Let us all intend goodwill for each other and for all concerned to the betterment of our community at large. Lord, give us wisdom and peace in all things. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The first item on our agenda for this meeting is approval of the consent agenda. We'd invite Mr. Kevin Christopher forward to read that.
On the consent agenda, all items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Item 2, approval of minutes of previous meetings as written. Item 3A, act on liquor license application for Save the Family Foundation of Arizona, one-day event, February 17th, Mesa Convention Center's North Lot at 359 North Center Street. Item 3B, act on liquor license application for Family Dollar, 1021 East Main Street. Item 4A, approving one-year term contract for playground equipment, repair, and replacement parts for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 4B, approving contract to purchase a large explosive ordnance disposal robot for the Mesa Police Department. This purchase is from grant funds and general funds. Item 4C, approving cooperative contract use for the purchase of one heavy-duty backhoe loader for the Energy Resources Department. Item 4D, approving ratification of the emergency purchase for fiber optic cabling repairs for the engineering department. Item 4E, approving cooperative contract use to purchase 2 crew cab utility service trucks for the energy resources and water resources departments. Item 4F, approving 9-month term contract for public safety microwave radio network equipment for the Department of Innovation and Technology. The costs are being shared between members of the Topaz Regional Wireless Cooperative. Item 4G, approving 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for repair and refurbishment services for metal bins and roll-off containers for the Solid Waste Department. Item 4H, approving dollar limit increase to the term contract for renewal options for residential refuse and recycling containers for the Solid Waste Department. Item 5A, approving resolution modifying fees and charges for the Police Department for public records request of police video recordings. Item 5B, approving resolution to accept funds for non-functional turf removal at City of Mesa Parks through a grant agreement with the Water Infrastructure Finance Authority of Arizona. Item 5C, approving resolution approving a substantial amendment to the City of Mesa's annual action plan for fiscal years 22-23 and 23-24 and submitting the amendment to HUD. Item 5D, approving resolution extinguishing portions of easements located at 1836 West Main Street to allow for construction of multifamily development. Item 5E, approving resolution extinguishing a portion of a 10-foot easement located at 1461 West Southern Avenue to allow for construction of a new medical office building. Item 5F, approving resolution extinguishing all or portions of easements located at 3729 South 79th Street to correct an error on the dimensions of 2 lots on the subdivision plat. Item 6A, approving ordinance for zoning case 22-54 for property located south of Thomas Road on the east and west sides of Val Vista Drive. A rezone of the planned area development overlay and site plan review to correct an ordinance map and allow a mix of single residence, multiple residence, and commercial development at Agritainment District at Pioneer Crossing. Item 6B, approving ordinance for annexation case 23-480 for property located west of Ellsworth Road on the north side of Southern Avenue. Item 6C, approving ordinance for zoning case 23-478 for property generally located west of Ellsworth Road on the north side of Southern Avenue. Rezone with a planned area development overlay and a site plan review to allow for a multiple residence development. Item 7A has been removed from the consent agenda. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher. I see we have a motion made by Councilmember Freeman, seconded by Councilmember Spilsbury. Please vote. Well, before we do that, have we had any requests to speak on any items on the consent agenda?
No requests on consent.
Okay, thank you very much. Please vote. Thank you. Consent agenda passes unanimously. First item off the consent agenda is item 7A. This is to take action on a subdivision plat for Cadence at Gateway Phase 3. Mr. Summers?
Thank you, Mayor. I remove this from the consent agenda. I'm going to request a 2-week continuance of the item. As a council, we are obliged to approve a plat based on the use of a property. The allowed uses are established at zoning. However, council is responsible for ensuring that all applicable code requirements are met before approving a plat. This is especially important when a plat is proposed for a use that is very dissimilar to an existing one, and the proposed use is adjacent to critical floodwater infrastructure. Therefore, after consultation with staff, I'm going to move to continue this item so staff can continue to review this plat and to ensure that it complies with all applicable code requirements, and that staff provide, in addition, a supplemental report to that effect next meeting. Additionally, to minimize issues like this in the future, I'm asking planning to look into ways to prevent property from being underutilized, to prevent incompatible adjacent land uses, and to find ways to maximize and ensure the highest and best uses are built with the highest quality. Specifically, the planning department should consider requiring site plans and development agreements in more situations. As to the item before us, I move that item 7A be continued to the February 5th City Council meeting so that staff can ensure compliance with all applicable requirements.
All right, thank you. It's been suggested that this item be continued to a date certain to our next council meeting, February 5th. I think we can just, it's not necessary to take should we take a vote on that? Okay, so that motion's been made. Well, Mr. Freeman made that motion. Mr. Summers has seconded that motion. So all in favor of continuing this item to the February 5th meeting, please vote on that motion. Thank you. That passes unanimously, so that item has been, will be heard on February the 5th. Next, items 8A through 8C are to conduct a public hearing and take action on the minor general plan amendment and zoning case related to the SEC Center Street and Linwood Lane development. I declare the public hearing open. Ms. Mosley, do we have any requests to speak on this item?
No request, Mayor.
Thank you. Do any council members wish to address these items? Okay, seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. If there's no objection from council, we'll take one motion for the approval of items 8B and 8C, the minor general plan amendment and the zoning case. I see that Mr. Freeman has made a motion, seconded by Mr. Summers. Is there any discussion? Please vote. Thank you. That passes unanimously. Next item on our agenda is items from citizens present. The audio wasn't turned on, ladies and gentlemen, while you were listening and explaining what items from citizens present is. So if you don't mind, I'll rehearse it. I'll go over that a little bit. This is the time on our agenda where we hear from the public. And on the agenda, we have room for 3 people to speak for 3 minutes. And it's on a first come, first served basis. There was a gentleman that put in a card to speak initially, and we'll hear from him. And then I know, obviously, we have a large crowd here that is part of here for the same issue. And I have 12 different cards representing, and they've indicated on the cards that they're all here to talk about justice for Stephen and the Jacobo family tragedy. And we absolutely will hear from 2 of you. If you don't mind, I think I'd invite the parents, Alma, and is it Mark? Yes, sir. Okay, so I'm going to invite Alma and Mark to come up and share their thoughts. But I'm sorry, we don't, the agenda only allows for 3 speakers. And the other thing I need to apologize for, because this isn't agendized on our meeting, we can't respond back. The law doesn't allow us to comment on an issue that's not on our agenda. So when you come up and say, hey, I want to talk about this, we're happy to hear what you have to say, but we can't engage in a dialogue about it. So I apologize and hope you'll understand that we're not responding out of any lack of understanding or of how serious the issues are that you're bringing to us. So we'll begin with items from citizens present, from hearing first from Mr. Brad Moore. Mr. Moore, step right up. Please give us your address, and you have 3 minutes.
Council members, if I knew there were only 3 people, I would have deferred in light of the situation. But I would like to, since you called me up, I would like to say, this is my son, Tanner. He's a 4th grader. Wanted to come with me tonight. I'm from Queen Creek, and I'm here to show solidarity from the members of my community that lost a boy, Preston Lord, to senseless violence. We're here to talk about your son and your family tonight, but I just want you to know that the people of Queen Creek support you. I want a shirt. I want to figure it out. Someone please get with me. I want to get a shirt so I can wear it in my community. Okay. We would like, first and foremost, to thank the Mesa Police Department for taking the lead on the investigation with Preston Lord. The police department, is the police chief here by chance? Okay, well, hopefully you can get the message, but we just want to say thank you for setting the example and really taking the lead. My son Tanner, like I said, is a 4th grader, and you want to tell him real quick, he got an award last week in school. You want to tell him what it's about?
It's about speaking and finding your voice and help others find theirs.
Yeah, speaking your voice and helping others find theirs. But most importantly, it's a leadership, and I wanted him to be able to stand here with me. I worry about sending my child to school every day. I have other children as well. I worry about them being bullied, picked on. That just comes with the territory, right? Like, that's just the way life goes. You don't want it to happen, but it happens. I've never, up until about 2 months ago, worried that eventually my son might have to go somewhere and be jumped by 7 people and beaten mercilessly, or in this case, shot at a party going and hanging out with his friends. I'm never worried about that, and I hope that I never have to again. I hope we can do something as a community to ensure that these type of criminals and parents are taken off the streets, and justice is served. I really hope that we can do that. I don't want to have to worry about that. I just want to worry about simple things. Kids getting, made fun of or something, which get a handle as well, but nothing like this. I'm trying to teach Tanner to be an upstander. And what an upstander is someone that speaks up and says something when something's happening. Doesn't put their head in the sand and look the other way. They say something. They say, that's not right. They tell the right people, and they report the misconduct. Good friend of mine, Aaron Burton, he's a retired Mesa police officer, and he assured me, I talked to him today, he assured me that Mesa's got the best police force in the state, and I do believe that. I encourage the police force to please help their brothers and sisters in the Gilbert and Queen Creek departments. They're a little bit newer. I think you guys have set the stage. I really hope that we can lean upon you to set the stage and help them as they work through this, especially Queen Creek in the first murder case that they have. The Jacoba family, much like the Lord family, lost a son to senseless violence. Race doesn't play a part in this. I came here tonight, I didn't know. I mean, it's obvious that the majority here are not Caucasian. It doesn't matter. We're all here together as a community. I hope you feel that. I hope you know that, and I hope you know that I'm sincere when I say that. We need to do things. We need to be better as a community. How much time do I have left? Am I out of time? Time is gone. We stand with the Jacoba family. I'd like a shirt. If someone could let me know. Thank you very much, and know that we appreciate your willingness to allowing us to come tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Mark and Alma, do you have a preference who comes up and speaks first? Okay.
So I am Alma Antolin, Stephen Jacobo's mother. I stand here before you today as a grieving mother, a position no one should ever have to be in. My son, Stephen Jacobo, was the beacon of my life. He was tragically taken from us, a victim of the escalating gun violence that has been plaguing our city today. His loss has left an incredible mark on our family and friends, and his absence is a void that will never be filled. Our children are our future. They are the ones that will carry forward the legacy of this city. Yet, it is disheartening to see that they are becoming victims of the very society that is supposed to be nurturing and protecting them. The increased rate of violent crimes against our children is not just alarming, but it is very unacceptable. While I appreciate the efforts of the Mesa Police Department in apprehending the individual that was responsible for my son's murder, I stand here today to say that it is not enough. Reactive measures are not sufficient. We need to be proactive in our approach to combat all of these tragedies that are happening today. We need to implement stronger measures to ensure that the safety of our children. We need to increase police presence in the high-risk areas and stricter law enforcement pertaining to illegal activities that are happening in our community. I urge you to please prioritize the safety and well-being of our children. Let us not wait for another family to go through the pain and the suffering that my family has gone through. Let us take action now to ensure that our children can grow and thrive in a safe and secure environment. In memory of my son, Stephen Jacobo, and in honor of all of the children of this city, I implore that you make a change. Let us work together to create a city that respects and protects its most vulnerable citizens, which are our children. Let us build a future where our children can live without fear. Please, let's work together to do what's best for our children and to keep them safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Alma. We're so sorry for your loss. Mark.
My name is Mark Jacobo, and I live in Mesa. I came here to bring to your attention a matter that's just great concern to myself, my family, and this community. On November 6, 2022, My son, Stephen Benito Jacobo, was murdered a day after his 18th birthday. He was a good, fun-loving, caring young man. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office has denied the report and has had it sent back to the Mesa Police Department twice. Meanwhile, the suspect gunman is still allowed to roam the streets and other communities for over a year. I understand that a murder case is complicated. However, how would you feel if it was one of you, going through the heartache and the frustration? We know who did this. The Mesa PD knows who did this. And yet, it takes police 3 times to write a completed report to arrest and remove this murderer off our streets. It makes no sense to us. Our family has been very patient through this process, but yet, why does it take many juveniles' deaths in the city of Mesa and other cities in our state to bring awareness to their cities to have our city of Mesa finally take action of my son's case? The court attorney office cannot do their job if the Mesa police can't complete their work, their reports the first time. Remember, many communities have experienced and still experience the real trauma at the hands of the police, so my son and other families can get their justice. That's what they all deserve. Our kids deserve to enjoy a full life. No parent should be carrying their son or daughter's ashes everywhere they go, like I do now. The violence needs to stop against our children. Thank you for your time.
Respond to what you're saying, we can make sure that you get connected to the people that can answer your questions. So I know Mark and Alma, you met a moment ago with Assistant Chief Rankin, who's the head of investigations, and I know that he's committed to answering any questions you might have with regard to what the role of the Mesa Police Department might be in the prosecution. And I understand that charges have been refiled and the individual is in custody right now. So I assure you that our police department will do everything it can for a successful prosecution there. And I know there's a strong showing of community support here, and I'm just going to read the names of the folks that submitted cards and offer our apologies because the agenda only allowed for 3 speakers. But Jamie Orr was here, Rosalind Delgado, Dylan Tucker, Alexa Dean, Amoni Felix, Michelle Jacoby, Lupin Gomez, Angel Paras, and Barnick Jacobo. Again, thank you very much for being here. I assure you that teen violence is an issue that that's at the top of our agenda. And I know that it's painful for our council to not be able to respond. We would love to spend more time talking with you about this, but I just can't do it in the context of this public meeting. All right, thank you. That concludes our agenda for this meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Mr. Freeman and Mr. Summers. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. We are adjourned.